friends, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to, I think, a new series on my channel. I'm not sure if I have possibly done a video like this in the past, but I'm gonna do one of the trying to finish the series that I'm currently in the middle of, reading vlogs. I am in the middle of many series, and so I've been slowly chipping away at them this year. And specifically, I'm kind of in a fantasy mood, and I am in the middle of a lot of fantasy series, and so I want to finish a couple of them. So I've got 3 books here of series that I'm currently in the middle of. Spice decided to start playing with her toy, and I mean, can you really tell a cat they can't play? I'm not sure yet which one I'm going to start with, but we're going to read these 3 hopefully in the next week. The first one I've got is Ruin and Rising, which is the last book in the Grishaverse, I guess. I don't know if the Grishaverse also includes the Six of Crows duology, but anyways, this is the last book with the Shadow and Bone trilogy. And I read the first 2, I think 2 years ago. When the first Netflix show came out, I was reading the second book at that time, I think. And I have not picked the third one up. I don't know why. I loved the show. I thought it was great. The books, they were okay. But I just want to finish this so I can get to Six of Crows. So that is one. Then we've got Foxglove, which is kind of like the romantasy. And this is in the, I don't know if it has a name in this series, but the first book is Belladonna. Yeah, I'm not sure what the series is called, but this is the second book in the Belladonna series, and the third book comes out in August, so I really wanted to read this before that comes out, and I'm very excited about this one. I read Belladonna, I think, a month and a bit ago. It was on my 24-hour reading challenge video. And then lastly, we've got The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. This is the last book in the Cruel Prince trilogy. I think it's called Folk of the Air, and I'm really intrigued for this one because The Cruel Prince I was very meh about. I think it was a good 3-star. But The Wicked King I really liked, and the ending was fantastic, so I'm really excited to get into this. That's what we're working with this week. I think I will probably start with Foxglove. I should probably start with Ruin and Rising to get it out of the way, but we'll see how I feel. Oh, and this will most likely be non-spoilery. If I have any spoilers that I do want to include, I will make it very clear that it is a spoiler. So, for the most part, I'm going to try sticking to non-spoilers. Let's talk about Foxglove. So, I started this a couple days ago. I am over halfway for sure. I think maybe almost 3/4 of the way through. Let's try talking about my feelings without getting into spoilers. So this is obviously book 2, as we're reading and trying to finish the series that I'm currently in the middle of. But this book is the second in the series. I believe there's going to be one more. I'm not sure if there's going to be more than that. I guess we'll see. But primarily, this series is about a girl where basically everyone dies around her and people blame her for it. And she doesn't know what's happening. And then she meets Death himself and kind of goes on a journey. And she also has a sick cousin in the first book. I don't remember exactly what the first book synopsis says, so I will leave it at that. But this book then introduces the character Fate. Man, I love Fate. I love Death and Fate. I think they are both such fantastic characters and they're so different, yet I don't love one more than the other, which is so confusing. And we're kind of in a love triangle, and this is, I think, the first time I'm like, I love both. I don't know how you're gonna choose. Oh, and the main character's name is Signa. So, yeah, all about fate, and obviously a lot of the side characters play a big role in the story, and you actually get a new perspective or POV in this book that I don't believe we got in book one. I'm pretty sure we didn't. I don't remember having any other perspective other than Signa. So that's also interesting. I'm not a big fan of that, I don't think. Like those chapters, I'm not 100% loving what's going on. And then when it goes back to Signa, I'm eating it up. I'm loving it. So let's see how this book ends. I've heard it's a crazy cliffhanger or just crazy ending, as was book one. So I'm gearing myself, getting ready for what is to come. But I'm excited, and I'm really, really hoping that I finish this tonight so we can move on. And I think the next book will be Ruin and Rising, because I'm just not looking forward to that one. So I want to finish that one and then kind of reward myself with the Queen of Nothing. But yeah, that's Foxglove. Let's continue reading. We finished Foxglove! Yay! All right. I finished Foxglove last night, but I needed to get my thoughts together. So I think I'm gonna give this book 4 stars. I loved it. I just didn't love it as much as I loved Belladonna. And I was trying to think of why, like what the differences were between the two books, because both had high stakes, both had primarily the same characters other than really Fate and some other side characters. They were all like the same cast of characters. There was still a lot of stuff going on, but I was kind of questioning throughout the book, what is the purpose of this story, right? And then when we got to the ending, not what I expected, and oddly convenient for the story. That kind of annoyed me, but it is what it is. But it all makes sense once I read the synopsis for book 3 that is coming out in a couple weeks. It just all clicked. This is definitely, it feels like a filler book between book 1 and book 3 to kind of merge, continue the story and merge into different characters. But you kind of have to build the story to get to book 3. With all that to say, I am so freaking pumped for book 3. You do not understand. I feel like book 3 is going to be a 5 stars. It's going to be enemies to lovers, which is one of my favorite tropes. And it is fantasy. And that is just, enemies to lovers in fantasy is a whole other ball game. It is the epitome of perfection. I can't wait. But Foxglove was still a good time. And I'm really happy I read it. And so that's book 1, and we gotta hurry up. That took me like 6 days, okay? I need to hurry up here. So the next book we're gonna do is Ruin and Rising, because that is my like least excited book, and then we'll get to the Queen of Nothing. So I haven't started Ruin and Rising yet, but we'll start it tonight, and I'll come back once I have some thoughts for you all. Hi everyone, it's been a few days. A lot has happened. Finished a book, did my hair differently, and started the 3rd book. So let's do a little catch up, shall we? So first of all, I dyed my hair. You guys have never seen me without, I believe, red hair. I've been red and copper for the past like year and a half, and decided to try and go back to my natural hair color. It's a lot lighter than this, but we decided to do it darker so that when it fades with all the color I have underneath, it'll fade nicely to my natural like light brown. So what do we think? It was really nice up until today, and then I went to hot yoga and my hair was drenched. So I washed it this morning and then had it in a claw clip all day. So it's not that pretty, but hopefully before the end of this vlog, you guys will see it nice and done. The second update is I finished Ruin and Rising, and I don't think I gave you any updates. So I am so sorry about that. But honestly, I was reading it, and as I was like reading it, I'm like, okay, once I hit maybe the halfway point or like a point where I have something to talk about, then I'll vlog. Then I just kept reading and then I finished it earlier today. And I was like, huh, didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was very mid. I think overall this series is quite mid. I don't know. This book, I think, was my least favorite, actually. I think I'm gonna give it a 3 to a 3.5. I still want to think about it, but I'm sorry, my cat's playing with her toy right now. I wasn't obsessed with any character other than like really Nikolai. Even the Darkling I wasn't like obsessed with, and I was obsessed with him for books 1 and 2. And Alina and Mal, I never really liked them in this series, and yeah, it kind of solidified my feelings this book. And all of the like love triangles, love squares in this book, like I don't know how Alina has all these men falling at the knees for her, and she's like, I don't know. The action, it felt pretty slow actually in this book. It wasn't as fast paced. Honestly, this whole series never felt very fast paced to me. Again, I read the first 2 books like in 2021, I believe. So 3 years ago. So my memory is not amazing for those books as to the pacing of what happened. But yeah, the pacing was a little bit slow. I don't know. I wasn't obsessed with it. I'm glad to finally be over it. Definitely like Foxglove a lot more than Ruin and Rising. But very happy to finish that series and to move on. And now we have to start a whole new series. That'll be in another vlog. However, what I did start today is The Queen of Nothing. I am about 50 something pages in. I'm pumped. I love this series. I'm so excited to see where the story takes us. For now, it seems like every book in this trilogy, she like does a little intro to the characters and to kind of remind you of their backstory, which is kind of nice. For me, because I read The Wicked King so recently, I was like, okay, I don't need this information. But I know if I either read this while the whole series was coming out, or if I spaced the books out a lot, then I would have definitely really liked that because it just kind of reintroduces all the main characters. We did that and there was already a battle scene. That's exciting. And it looks like, you know, this story is picking up right where it was left off. She's wasting no time. Holly Black is wasting no time, which I appreciate. So we're going to continue this tonight and hopefully finish this maybe tomorrow. Let's get to it, and I will try my best to update you all on my thoughts and feelings for this book. We are done all 3 books. So I know I did quite a bad job of updating you all for the last 2 books, but I did finish The Queen of Nothing, and I needed to let it simmer for a bit. But I'm gonna give this 4.5 stars. I am so shocked by this series. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I know I've said a million times that The Cruel Prince, I gave 3 stars. I wasn't obsessed with it, but I continued the series since I owned the whole series. And then The Wicked King really surprised me in such a good way that it kind of inspired me to do this vlog, because I really wanted to read The Queen of Nothing to complete the series. And so I was so excited for this book, and it left no crumbs. It was action-packed the whole way through, and yes, even though I do have my qualms with Jude, because, listen, that woman is so annoying. So annoying. I still adored this series. I loved the ending. The ending was a tiny bit rushed and kind of a little all over the place. Like, there was so much build-up to the ending, and then it was like done. Over and done with in like 10 pages. But overall, this was probably the best book out of the series. I really loved Wicked King as well. And I would definitely say that the series just gets better as you read it. And I am so excited to continue into the new series that she came out with. I think it's called The Stolen Heir. I know there's some novellas in this series too. If you guys have read the novellas in this series, let me know if they're worth it or not, because I am skeptical to read them. I'm so happy about this. Love the atmosphere. The writing is so easy and simple. The romance, you gotta love the romance. The characters are sometimes a bit annoying, but you kind of grow to love them, especially Jude. And the world is just a lot of fun. Yeah, they are high stakes, but it's not like, it doesn't feel that heart pressure, like anxiety inducing type of fantasy. It's just kind of chill and fun and easy. Finished 3 books this week, completed 2 series, and are up to date on 1 series, because the next book in the Belladonna series comes out, I think, in 2 weeks. So I'm very pumped. So overall, really fun week. I think I gave Foxglove 4 stars, Ruin and Rising 3 stars, and Queen of Nothing 4.5 stars. And now I'm a little bit fantasied out. Not gonna lie. Had a lot of fun, but now I feel like I need to mix it up and read some other genre. So you'll see what genre or theme I'm reading this week on next week's video. Let me know if you've read these series, if you have any other fantasy series that you would recommend that you haven't seen on this channel before. Hopefully we'll have another one of these completing the series that I'm in the middle of videos very soon. Let me know if you like them. I will definitely record more of them, because it is fun to get to books that you really want to get to, but kind of just hold off on because they are in a series. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had fun, and I will see you all next week. Bye!
Lazy Sunday mornings, hiding under covers. I don't mind staying in with you. Play your favorite movie, laying right beside me. I don't mind when it's